Snyder's Justice League. It's here. It's here. After all the Twitter outrage and after all the just criticism and backlash that the original movie had, it's here.
Even though I think no, that movie was bad. That movie was really bad.
That movie was bad. Like, I don't know if you go back and watch our previous review. I think I was just kind of high off of watching it. Like,
I thought it was
I was so
okay.
excited for a Justice League movie that I just kind of let some things fly under the radar that shouldn't have been unchecked for sure.
I agree. Justice League is his version, right? Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we get everything that he shot. One thing we do know that he didn't use any of Josh Whedon's scenes.
And you can tell which ones.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Because
I tried to go back and watch the Justice League, if you will.
The Justice League.
And you can definitely tell, like, some of the jokes, stupid jokes are cut out. Some of the uncomfortable, just quirks that you would see. Like, he really tried to turn it into an Avengers film.
Well, it was just trying to be funny. And he wanted the heart-lighted superhero like the Avengers.
But not even kind of funny. Some of the Superman scenes were like, oh, I really like being alive. I was just like, that's a weird line.
Yeah.
There's a compilation online on YouTube about like Joss Whedon's like cringiest lines in Justice League. And if you go back and watch it, you're just like, wow, that was bad.
Or the way he shoots scenes with Wonder Woman. There's this one scene where when Batman went and got the Flash, and then they were coming down the plane. There's this one. If you go back and watch the 2017, it's a shot of her butt, and they pan out. Like sometimes it has to do with her butt, and it was an outrage to a lot of people. And if you go to watch the Zack Snyder cut, there was none of that.
None of that.
So he's in a lot of trouble right now with. Not that I really like him. There's a lot of things going on with Josh Whedon. He's probably not going to be working a lot.
Well, here's a funny story too. I watched. This review is going to be super long, so if you don't like long reviews, just tune out.
Spoiler too.
Spoiler alert as well. I was watching Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection, one of those, and I was like, this movie is terrible. Who freaking directed this? And I looked at it. Who was it? Joss Whedon.
I think that was one of his first movie, I think.
But, bro, what the frick?
Yeah, he's
He either wrote it or directed it. I don't know which one it was, but it was terrible either way.
So let's get into this movie. Zack Snyder's Justice League. His cut, his version. Did you have any issue with the frame or with what is the word for instead of widescreen, it's the
aspect ratio?
Yeah. Did you have any issues with that?
I did not have any problem. It took some getting used to. But I found myself like once I was like into the movie for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it at all. But the only reason I would think about it is when I would look at it.
Yeah.
Like when I was taken out of the movie. But it comes and goes. It didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me in the beginning. It was just kind of like, man, my eye was just so used to widescreen and like that type of ratio, and it got me like, wow, I feel like I'm back in the '90s and watching that kind of frame rate or frame ratio and stuff. That was pretty funny. First off, what did you think of this 4 hours? Look, a lot of people had an issue with 4 hours. You already knew there was 4 hours going into it, so stop complaining about it.
I feel like people who complain about the 4 hours, they're not like invested in what this is. Like This is Zack Snyder's uncut. This is his thing, all for him. Leave nothing out. It's 4 hours. This isn't for the casual Justice League viewer.
To be fair though, like I'm not a hardcore. Like, I love Man of Steel. I think Henry Cavill is the best Superman. He's the GOAT of Superman. Come at me. And I think Ben Affleck is the best Batman so far out of all, in my opinion. Come at me.
Hot Take Jones.
Yeah, but I feel like... Let me ask you a question, and we'll go into the movie. I know this is long, but do you think his version would be as good as Joss Whedon if you cut it into 2 hours?
There would be a lot missing. There would be a lot missing.
I think it would be. I think it would be the exact same movie, because in the first Joss Whedon version, there were so many things that was left out, so many unanswered, so many character arc that didn't really get explained and how they came. There's not a lot of exposition in the story. With the 4 hours, you have so much time to flesh out all the characters and flesh out their stories, their their abilities, their dislike, anything. You can flesh that out. But if he had to do it in 2 hours, would have been a better movie than Josh Whedon cut? Like,
Zack Snyder, I feel like he had his own little vision of what was supposed to happen. And when he got the call to say, hey, you can make this as long as you want, it's going on HBO Max, he was like, sweet, put in all the slow motion, put in all the establishing shots, and give me all the character arcs. Give me just absolute freedom, and that's what made it such a good movie.
Yeah.
This definitely could have been 2 movies.
4.
But the way I thought it was perfect. And it was like, who's ever heard of a 4-hour movie besides like, what was it, the 10 Commandments or something?
What's that?
And Dune.
Dune.
Some of those freaking movies that was super long. But like, to have something like this in this day and age to be 4 hours long, ballsy, bro.
I didn't even think, you know what, even though it was 4 hours, I didn't feel like it was 4 hours. I was invested
Oh,
in it.
yeah, for
I
sure.
had watched it, and so, that being said, what did you think of this version?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I'm going to be unapologetic about this. And if you are like one of those Zack Snyder haters, just this is like his movie. This is his baby. This is what he's been building since 2013 with Man of Steel. He's been thinking about this forever. Like with Darkseid and with like Steppenwolf, like everything keeps building and building. And I really hope, whoever it may be, gives him a chance to do a sequel if he chooses to do so.
He's done. They're not going to.
I think this is going to do well enough to where they might consider it.
If I would consider it,
and there's enough setup to do a sequel.
I would consider it if Batman with Matt Reeves wasn't happening. If that Batman didn't happen, or it's already happening because they finished filming, I think Zack Snyder would have got his chance because there are so many.
But there's a Joker standalone movie that has nothing to do with this. Why not a Batman?
True. But I don't know if they're going to go that far with Justice to go Justice League 2 or 3. I don't know if they'll do that. That'd be interesting though. That's just a hope.
I'm here for it. I hate that saying, but I am.
I mean,
here for
if
it.
you watch the movie, he left so many things open-ended that you can play off of it. You know, the last scene with now this is spoiler, so we know what's his name?
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, Manhunter.
John Jones.
Yeah, so he's in it. Technically, it was supposed to be Green Lantern, but this is why I don't think that it will ever happen because the studio told him no to Green Lantern. Green Lantern.
I think they told him no because he wanted Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern and John Stewart.
I've read.
That's what I heard.
I've read where they didn't want any Green Lantern in there. They just wanted they have something else planned for Green Lantern, and so Zack Snyder had to throw in Martian the Manhunter in there, which he is part of he does later becomes.
No, yeah, he's in the Justice League.
Justice League, and so that scene that was an added scene in the end with him and Ben Affleck. It was that was the one reshoot that they did. It was that one and
the epilogue.
Yeah. So I thought.
I was shot in his backyard.
Dude, the epilogue was. I thought it was that had.
That's why I need another movie.
So many rich story that can go off of that, and that conversation with him and Joker. Be careful when he told Joker. Be careful what you say next. Was that line?
Be very careful with the words that you use.
Yeah. Oh man, that is the Batman that I love that threatens the Joker.
And I feel like this movie kind of deserved its rated R.
We're gonna disagree on that. I don't think you need to. Why?
Just to give it that extra little push when it comes to the violence, when it comes to the I don't know.
Okay, I disagree with you. I think they could have done without being rated R, and we still would have gotten it. Like you don't have with the Marvel, with Avengers and all the Marvel movies. We know they kill those people. You don't need to show blood to know. Oh yeah, he's dead. Like there's no way people can survive certain things the way they get hit by a superhero, a superhuman. It's like I didn't need that. Although it is pretty badass to hear Batman say the F word.
Right. But when I imagine like the Avengers like killing someone, I always kind of imagine like,
I know.
it's okay, kids, they're sleeping. But this gives me the grit, the DC grit that I like. Come at me.
If you watched Batman v Superman, the what's it called? Not the theatrical version,
The
but
ultimate
the
version?
ultimate version. And when Batman beat the crap out of those people in those warehouses, that was my best scene of Batman fighting.
Batman doesn't kill. Read a comic.
Batman kills, and so I know people want to hold that integrity, but he does. Anyways, anything else? So you love the movie?
Yeah. What about you? Do you?
I like the movie.
You like the movie?
I liked the movie. I thought it was 10 times better than, of course, the 2017 Josh Whedon. The story is, the core of the story is still the same. It didn't change. The only difference is in this movie was it was 4 more hours, it was 3 more or 2 more hours.
You said this is the same movie?
No, not the same movie. The core of the story. That's what I meant. The core. It's them coming together, trying to defend Earth from the dark side, trying to keep the mother box away from Steppenwolf. It's just, the core of it is still the same.
That's the Avengers movie, though.
Yeah.
Them coming together and protect the Tesseract from Loki.
Yeah,
like,
it's the same thing.
movie.
Same thing.
But this is so much different than... That's a formula. I'm going to disagree with you there. That's a formula for a movie.
No.
This is a complete setup for a multiverse.
But you're setting up, and the core of the story are 2 different things. I agree with you that the setup is different than what Josh Whedon did. The setup he set it up where you can make another movie or 2 or 3 movies with all these setup. But the main core is still Justice League coming together, fighting the Steppenwolf, and trying to retrieve the mother box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? So the core of it to me is still the same. But what I love, now I like the movie, but what I loved about the movie is that the characters. I love the fact that you get to understand where these characters coming from. We kind of understand what Flash did, I love that scene, by the way.
Yeah, it was good.
In the end, that when it just shows you how powerful the Flash, when he steps.
I kind of want to talk about that. That'd be good.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay, but that's one of my. We'll talk about favorite scene. We'll talk about that. I love this movie. To me, and I know it's Batman's supposed to be the main guy, so this was more a cyborg movie.
Definitely, and that's what we kind of heard.
Yeah,
for a while.
And he is the one that set up. Basically, he's the integral of this entire story and his backstory.
He's way cooler than I thought he was.
Oh my gosh, he was more. His character arc was so fleshed out. I thought I learned more, and I cared about his dad sacrifice. That scene, sacrificing himself to just to mark the mother box so they know where it is. And the other thing that I love about the characters in this movie was Steppenwolf had an agenda. He wasn't just the guy to come, mother. He wasn't
a whiny little guy. He was like, mommy.
He had a purpose. He was trying to get back into the good grace of Darkseid, and his character arc. Sorry, spit. His character arc, Corona. His character arc was so much better, and I not relate with him, but I can understand what he's doing, and so. And of course, you get the Wonder Woman. We already know about Wonder Woman because she has 2 movies already out. So we kind of understood his, her background, but I think the fleshing out of the characters and all that I thought was perfect, and so,
the way they redeemed Flash in my eyes was awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of giving Flash this rando Russian family to save, like he turns back time, giving him this responsibility to save the world. He saves the entire multiverse in that scene because. And like every character should have that. That Russian family sure is important, but it didn't need to be there at all.
I'm glad they made
Joss Whedon ruined this movie.
Yeah, he did.
He really did.
I'm glad that they said when Steppenwolf went to that power plant, they said this is perfect. It's toxin. No one's there. No one lives. No one can live there. And so I'm glad that Zack didn't go through that route. And granted, I blame Josh Whedon, but I also blame Warner Brothers for allowing him.
Oh yeah.
For allowing him to do it and for wanting him to do that. And I don't think Josh Whedon wanted to do that, to be honest. But yeah, I thought the movie was. I liked it. I don't know if I love it like Paul, but Paul is.
Call me a fanboy. I don't care.
Fanboy of DC.
Let's talk about Black Suit Superman. This is the most redeeming quality of this movie. This is how it's done. This is how you resurrect Superman.
And the reason why you resurrect him. because the reason, remember that conversation between the just the five, right? They were talking
plus Superman. Sorry,
and they were the reason why. I love the explanation of why the mother box came back alive, and it's because Superman died.
Is gone, dude.
And
they were afraid of him.
And I love
that. Just shows how perfect and how awesome Superman is.
How powerful he is. And Stephen Wolf came and was like, "There's no Kryptonian, there's no Green Lantern." He mentioned that means Green Lantern is powerful as well, and so he names those two people. Aquaman doesn't matter. Wonder Woman didn't matter. Not that they're like. The point of this movie was Superman was the key, and because Superman's death, the Mother Box called to them because they knew that they couldn't defeat Superman, and so that was cool.
All right.
Black suit Superman.
Let's talk about the things we didn't quite like.
The
things we kind of brushed by. And
okay, what did you didn't like?
There's a few things for me, and this is you see this all over the place. The theme song when Wonder Woman comes on screen, it's just the lamenting
so you don't
cries
like
of the
music.
Amazon.
Okay.
But that specific one, that one was a little like every time she got on screen, it just did that, which is a little kooky. I'll allow it could have done differently for sure. Another thing was some of the music choices. Like there was a full-on music video during the Flash scene, and that was interesting. Cool scene itself. Could have used a different soundtrack. And again, when Aquaman is just walking from the bar to the water, whole song playing right there.
Is that surprising though? Zack Snyder, if you watch his movies, he uses those type of music to incorporate with his scenes all the time. Granted, I agree with you.
Well, shame on me for not knowing that.
No, well, yeah. If you go watch The Watchmen. Anything that he's directed.
Oh yeah, Watchmen. Yeah, I can see that.
All those songs are incorporated in the scene because it tells the story of what's going on in their life at this moment. It's funny. You know what I hate about this movie?
Oh no.
It's the slow motion. Enough with the slow motion. I cannot. I'm sitting there. I'm like. Oh my gosh, now I know why it's 4 hours, because an hour of it was slow motion.
I'm alright with it.
Get rid of it. No, it doesn't need to be, and I get his
the movie itself doesn't need to be 4 hours. So if it's gonna be 4 hours, why not get some establishing shots? Why not get some slow motion in there?
You don't need to do
Make it
all
look good.
stuff.
People are enough. Okay, this movie definitely wouldn't have worked in the theaters. The reason it was allowed to be 4 hours is because it was going to be projected onto people's screens in their own home where they could pause, go to the bathroom, eat, do whatever they want. So might as well tack on a few extra frame rate there and go for it. Was I good? What did we get? We were good.
Oh my gosh.
This camera shoots in 24, so...
Stop with the slow motion. I'm okay with that. That's the only thing I had an issue with, really. There was a couple scenes that I thought was unnecessary. A couple lines is like, oh, really? Like, they could have been better. Zack Snyder is not the best writer. He's never was. He's a great director. That's it for me. Like, it's just the slow motion was the couple of unnecessary scene. Let's talk about your favorite scenes. Let's do 3. We'll try to keep it at 3. What are some?
You know what else is 4 hours long?
this review. One of my favorite scenes. I'll tell you right now. We'll go back and forth. It's the Flash, and when the mother, the scene where he goes back in time, and that line, and I loved, and that's one of the best lines. Comes back when his dad tells him, "You need to stop living in." What did he say? Now, you need to stop living in the past and live your future. Something to that line. I'm not sure how. Remember that when he was talking to him on the phone in prison?
Oh yeah.
When he tells him stop coming back, I don't need you to come back, and he says that line, and he uses that line, comes back to that scene where he understands what his dad is talking about, and he is thinking, man, that scene is so cool. How he's going so fast that when every step that he took creates reality. That's how powerful that Zack Snyder is telling this in that scene, that when the Flash steps on something, it can create reality for the entire universe, for universe upon universe. And I thought that scene was incredibly done. I loved it. I thought this shows you how much I don't like the actor. What's his name?
Ezra Miller?
I don't like him because of what he did. And Warner Brothers...
I thought his kookiness was going to be toned down, apparently.
Not about the kookiness,
Not
about him
well.
strangling the girl. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
They're not having addressed that, so I'm just wondering what's going on. Warner Brothers, if you fire Johnny Depp for what he did, you need to fire Ezra Miller and Amber Heard. Heard.
Cancel everybody.
Yeah, cancel them all.
Cancel them all.
But if you're gonna do it, be consistent. I don't want them to be canceled, but if you're gonna be consistent, be consistent. And so, but I'm excited for the Flash movie. I really am. I think
for
it's
sure,
gonna be
because
good.
it'll show
yeah.
lots of stuff like that. I think one my favorite scene, no surprise, is when Superman comes to finally fight Steppenwolf. Everybody's getting their trash beat by Steppenwolf. Wonder Woman, freaking Aquaman gets beat up. But as soon as Superman steps in the ring, it's over for him. And not just Superman alone. He helps every individual fight Steppenwolf to the best of their ability. Superman just gives him the extra push. It's not like he took him on alone. And you see his powers. You see his freeze breath. You see his protective, his invulnerability. Invulnerability?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
You know what I mean. And he helps. He helps.
Let me tell you, that scene was awesome, except for that line.
That line I could have done without. Not impressed.
Come on, really? Come on.
What would you have replaced it with?
I don't know.
Nah, dog. Like that?
I would just nothing. Just like look at him and just go with it. You don't have to say not impressed. It's like
yeah, but like you said, Zack Snyder's not the strongest writer, but
no, he's not.
It was definitely redeeming.
Anything else that you like? Any scene?
I think we're done talking.
What about
this.
I want to talk one more.
Okay.
Epilogue.
Oh yes, the epilogue.
Oh my god.
Major spoilers if you have not watched it.
So there's so many.
This is gonna be an Injustice movie. This is Injustice.
No, if I ever get a chance.
That's basically what
there were so many different storyline that you could branch off to make a movie. The scene with Lex Luthor and what is his name? Deathstroke. That could have been a Batman movie that was supposed to be, but not anymore. So that's canceled. And then you have that dream, that scene. What's it called? Well, the epilogue is actually a dream.
Oh yeah.
You have that you can continue from this. You get Deathstroke working with Batman, and then Joker working with them. And they're like working together to basically fight against Superman, who goes.
And you get like all the stuff that happens before that, like Lois dying and Darkseid manipulating Superman.
He didn't though.
Kind of. I feel like he put his hand on his shoulder and said, "You know what? Work for me. Let's work through this." And Superman, in his rage, is like, "You know what? I don't like you, but I got some stuff to take
And this is where I'm gonna say why Star Wars conquered the universe. He turns evil because Lois Lane died. Yeah. And Darkseid probably doesn't even have to use that equation. Apparently there's an equation about that. The other part I'm like, what?
The anti-life equation?
Yeah, like what?
No, yeah, it's just get rid of just like Thanos with his snap. It's the same thing.
I know, I get that, but like you're gonna throw it in and like right now, like this, you don't need it, and it's like whatever. But
that's his motivation for coming to Earth, to destroy Earth. He's trying to find that one thing.
I thought it was the mother box.
No, it's not. It's the mother box is so he could find the anti-life equation.
Oh,
silly.
You need to explain a little bit better in the movie.
Just go watch the movie.
Anyways, and then I feel like it's the same way that the Emperor persuade Anakin to come to the dark side. I was like, I can help you save Padme. I can, from death.
Okay, I see.
And I think dark side is the same in that I don't know. I don't know a lot about DC comics, and I didn't read that part, but I just know that maybe that's a motivation why Superman's wanting to work, and him blaming your friend let this happen. Your friend allowed this.
And that's basically what happened in Injustice, just a little differently.
Just like Obi-Wan and.
Okay, I really thought during that monologue of with Joker and Batman, monologue, it's mostly Joker. I thought he was gonna reveal that it was Jason Todd. I really thought it was gonna be that, and I was so excited because that's been a fan theory forever that most people kind of hate I'm on board with it. But no, that's not it.
I just.
But it explains how many different timelines are you gonna let let this happen?
Oh my gosh.
Timelines.
That means
someone knows about timelines.
No, that means Batman has been going to different worlds and different time.
Yeah.
Because
with that team.
With that team. So we know that set up the multiverse, and there's been so many hate about that conversation. You guys relax. It's actually a good dialogue between two people who are enemies, and that they have to come together to fight this superhuman being. So it's like, I love that scene. I love it. I love that.
And you haven't had a conversation between Batman and Joker since Dark Knight. Think about that.
I love that scene, and that how he quibbles when when Batman tells him, "Be careful what your next line, whatever it is," and then he comes at Joker was like talking about Harley Quinn, like because he was the one that saw Batman kills her or something happened, and you see Joker shaking. And that is something that's his weakness. So they both know each other's weaknesses, and it's like they're playing to each other, and they have that card, the Joker card, that's the truth card. And there's one scene that when Cyborg saw the future, what Superman was going to do, that you see that card was ripped in two.
I did not notice.
So at point, it was flying, and you see the card. There was so many different things on that when he was flying, and there was a bunch of scraps on there. There was Wonder
Green
Woman,
Lantern,
Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and then you see the card, the Joker card, split in half.
Shoot skis.
Yeah, so something happened, but it's so intriguing. Oh, I love it because Batman time travel. Batman time travel. That's so freaking awesome, dude. That's freaking awesome.
All right, let's give this a rating. Opening night for sure. Opening night for me.
I give it opening night as well, but probably low. I'm not in love with this movie like he is. Although I've seen it 4 times.
You've seen it more than I have. I'm on my third. I just love the character arc in this movie, and so I thought it was cool. So check it out, guys. If you've watched this far, thanks.
Thank you. But we'll be coming. Movie theaters are opening up. Godzilla versus King Kong's coming up.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. I'm excited for Mortal Kombat.
Dude, me too.
So. See you later, nerds.
Later.